What about aggravated bush? Can you show aggravated bush?
Aggravated in what way?
No.
In the good way.
I always thought a good Pirates of the Caribbean character would be because they don't have enough female villains. It's always a dude.
Okay.
So it would be a female pirate, but she doesn't wear any pants.
Sure.
And she has a really overgrown bush.
But is it like waving like it's underwater all the time?
Well, no, it's all the tips are singed.
Oh,
They're all
cool.
singed, so they're all
like
kind of
Junkrat?
glowing red.
So
and
what's her-
burning,
what's her
kinda
name?
Like Blackbeard's
Seabush?
beard.
Yeah, well, what's her name? What do we call her?
I don't know.
Flaming Bush.
Yeah.
No.
What's the name of the chick who got the phone thrown at her by Johnny Depp?
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard. That's what we'll call her.
It helps Johnny act better.
All right, well,
When do
welcome
we
to
go
Mistaken
live?
Bowl of Off Topic. Boy, we got things to talk about. So this week's episode of Dude Soup is brought to you by Blue Apron. You can check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/soup. We'll hear more from that later. I apologize if I'm mostly over my throat thing, but occasionally I get one of... No, you can't hear it right now. It'll be there later. Occasionally I get the little
Frog in
rumble.
your throat.
Yeah, it tickles. Yeah. So I might cough in the middle of saying something.
Well, the good news is that we have microphones that we can move away from our face, so you can control.
Cough like this.
Yeah, but then how will I know where to put it back?
What?
It's once
Just
it
put
moves
there.
But
No, it's
I have
there.
a lozenge and I'm just backwashing my own saliva and over and over
The
again.
trick to a lozenge is you get a lot of like fluid going. Try and push it into your nasal cavity, swirl it around, and then choke it
Yep,
back.
yeah.
That's how you
It's-
clear out the full thing, because it's all the back of the nose dripping down into your throat. So if you start at your mouth and swallow it down, you're only getting half the track.
It's like that string trick where you jam some string up your nose and then pull it out of your mouth. And then
exactly
you do
the
this.
same.
Same
Oh,
thing.
floss the face.
$5, please.
I'm a magician.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that in high school they told us that the Black Plague went away like a long time ago, but you guys all have it.
We got it from you. That's
where it went
away. No,
Before
It came
RTX,
back.
Sydney.
It's frozen.
I mean,
in,
you guys got it on a
Antarctica.
plane
From you.
from. No, I don't think it was me.
What dis, Lawrence?
This is evidence of corruption in gaming media, which is about to get even worse.
What?
Thanks to Twitch.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, remember the Atari? Remember how pure that was?
The Odyssey.
Not really.
Yeah, the Magnavox.
I don't
Wasn't
remember
it
that.
like one of them like severely overproduced and
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is just it's some video I found. I needed background video. This has like 120 views. It's a documentary about corruption in games media, which again is about to get even worse. Thank you, Twitch. So this morning, which is Monday, February 27th, Twitch announced that soon you'll be able to buy games through Twitch. PC right now, digital. But the thing that makes it so unbearably corrupt is that streamers will also get revenue share for this. Yeah, I know.
Partnered streamers, right? Not just any old Joe.
So
It's
the way
about
it
damn
shakes out
time.
is
Yeah,
the,
seriously.
the buy link, and this is something we actually speculated about years ago, but it's finally coming. I don't know why it took it so long, but so if somebody's streaming a particular game, and this is partially why you enter the game you're streaming on Twitch, they'll add a little buy link, and then you as a Twitch streamer can either opt into the program, which means you get a revenue share from all sales that go through your page, or you can opt out.
The
But
rich get richer, Lawrence.
Exactly. But the link is still going to be there
Jeez.
either way, which is interesting, and I'll discuss that more in a second. But here's how the revenue breakdown works, and this is via gamesindustry.biz.
How will I get rich this
You'll
year?
get rich this way. The publishers and developers will receive 70% of the revenue, which is about what happens with pretty much every online retail store. The streamer will receive 5%, and Twitch will presumably collect the rest. That means that if a game or in-game content is sold directly by a publisher or developer's own Twitch channel, that means the revenue share goes up to 75%, which is a good deal better than most other online places. So even though it will lead to the incredible corruption of individual streamers, it is kind of neat that developers can stream a game and then also sell it themselves directly through Twitch and possibly get a higher revenue share than they would through any other online store.
So any partner can choose which games that they have advertised on their page, or is that arbitrary?
My assumption is, and
Or, like,
this is
randomly?
typically how it's laid out. No, it's not random. It's the game you're playing.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be streaming a particular game, and then there will be a buy link for that game.
Oh, okay.
You can sell so many copies of Owlboy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The presumption being that hucksters like Elise,
Yeah.
who are shilling their Owlboy wares,
sellouts.
will
Making millions.
they'll either
like
passively
Nigerian dollars, but
churn in dollars.
Nigerian
dollars.
dollars.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
Millions and Owlboy dollars is
You're gonna
very.
get that 5%
very small.
Those acorns. We call them acorns.
No one played it.
So I think the worry is that Twitch really doesn't address it all, even though games industry actually asked them directly. Is okay. So what's to prevent a streamer from arbitrarily being happier about a game to sell more units? And that can happen either actively or passively. A streamer can be like, I want to make money, therefore I will have more fun with this game, so people think it's better than it is and buy it. Or just simply by the fact that they sold a lot of units of a particular game when they streamed it, they're more inclined to stream that in the future. So, and they're probably inclined to be more forgiving of it if it's paying their rent.
I mean, isn't that? I feel like that whole thing is sort of implied in the process, though.
You kind of
Yeah.
become a retail representative now.
'Cause,
You're kind of digital. You're like working for something like a GameStop or like a Target or Walmart or whatever, but from your bedroom now,
At this
or your whatever your office.
At this point, it's an implied agreement between the streamer and the viewer, who's like, they know they're going to see a link for when the streamer is playing the game, and if they click it, the streamer will then make money. I guess they want to put a disclaimer underneath the link for every page on Twitch, sure. Then at least people will know this streamer is making money off of this game, so maybe that's the reason he's having so much fun with it. I feel like, but I mean, if we know about it now, then it's like not so bad.
Well, so that's another unanswered question is, as a viewer, will you know if the given streamer is part of the revenue share program or not? Because the link's going to be there regardless.
Oh, okay.
So it's if you're coming into somebody's stream, I think, yeah, I think the idea is if yeah, sorry, this video is pretty great. He's dropping some real bombs.
Yeah, really
about
is.
games.
I love when games glitch out.
Also, apparently, there's sound now. Get out of here, Angry Joe.
Wait, is this an Angry Joe video?
No, he's just ripping off Angry
Sorry,
Joe's
Lawrence.
clips.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
No, it's
interrupt
okay. So the thing that concerns me as a Twitch viewer is, yeah, if it's visible or visibly marked in some way that a given Twitch streamer is a partner and they will receive revenue share, that's fine. Then I, as a viewer, am smart enough to know that their opinion might be changed because they stand to profit off their representation of the game. What hasn't been revealed is whether or not that will be visible to the viewer. Like, is it going to be up to the streamer to profess, I am partnered, so I'm going to play this game, and I will get money if you buy it, so buy it.
Currently, there's no indication on a Twitch channel that you are partnered.
No, there is. If you can subscribe to a Twitch channel, then it is partnered.
Okay, so then you could assume then from that, right?
Just by being partnered doesn't mean you opt into the revenue
I
share.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know why anyone would not do it unless
Are you going
they-
to do it, Lawrence, as a fellow Twitch lord?
I don't know, man.
I think you should.
here's what
Fuck it.
Yeah, you totally should.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do.
Make $100 this
I
year.
want to be able to bypass and say I don't want my 5%. The game costs 5% less for all of my viewers.
Oh.
Cheap games through James Store. Come get James Store. I'm not making any money on this. I'm crazy.
Cheap games of James.
Cheap games with James.
You're
We're
like
playing
the-
games for cheap.
The Pied
5%
Piper
is like
of
nothing.
Twitch.
I'm the Pied Piper of Twitch. If I
Son of
didn't
the
steal
tax.
children, then I
Except
made
that he's
nothing.
crazy.
That's what I want to do.
What I
don't know what
want to
I'm
do,
doing here.
I want to get partnered on Twitch. I want a developer or publisher to come to me and say, we'll pay you $5,000 to play our game on Twitch. And you can also get that 5% kickback. That's,
damn.
that's what I want. I want
Well,
to double
so-
down. I want to scam the system. And I want all the money.
Well, I
the
want
thing, though.
$15,000.
Does
play Owl Boy.
does it say? Does it? Yeah, you can just ask for free
I'm
copies
going
of
to
Owl
stream
Boy.
on Twitch right now.
Does it?
I want the copies of Owl Boy.
Does it say whether or not it, like, I guess you could do the math at the end of the month or when your payout comes to determine how many units were sold through you? Because that's valuable information.
Oh, Twitch revenue reports will tell you that.
Whether
So
or not you make any money off of it, if you can say like, I sold
So that's-
5,000 copies of your game.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of it from a streamer perspective. And Tina Dayton actually brought this up on Twitter. She said, wouldn't it be great to have those analytics as a streamer? And
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
trying to get other deals and sponsorships, be able to say,
Totally.
well, making the money is good, but being able to go to another company and say, look what I was able to achieve just through my
5
influence.
copies of Owl Boy.
Yeah, well, and I had to buy 4, but
The developer's freaking out. 5.
Do we have 5? Digital. What does that mean?
You're in the lobby of like EA and like, get out.
well, EA isn't
Been here for
actually
3
part
days.
of this program. EA and Activision are not part of this
Oh no,
program.
I imagine EA,
let's
Blizzard, well, like
Yeah.
Activision, Blizzard,
Well,
like
there is
anyone
a-
who owns their own store, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Ubisoft has Uplay and they're part of it.
Yeah, and they're part
Oh,
of
that's
this.
so
cool.
Interesting.
Good for
here's
them.
the list.
I guess whatever key you can buy on.
Man,
Amazon,
it's all
right?
digital. They don't give a
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, they
it's
don't.
ones and zeros. They can make infinity of them.
Yep.
Sell them here, sell them there. I don't know, whatever.
That's if I were a game developer, that's what I would say,
Yeah.
or a publisher.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, no problem, anywhere.
Oh, Why the gaming industry is in danger? I need to know this. Sidetor, tell me.
I keep getting
22
that as
minutes.
I keep getting that as a related video too.
Which one? The
The
gaming?
23 all new voice of what the voice actors for Overwatch
Oh,
look
Boogie
like.
memes.
It's in every single sidebar. It always shows.
Maybe
that.
you should watch it, then it'll go away.
Yeah.
I don't want
Go
to.
away
It'll just
forever.
give me other ones.
Okay.
So
I
Z will
I
beat
would I would
Twitch.
like to see something actually negative come of this, because this, like I said, we've been talking about this for years.
All right.
Ever since YouTube's Content ID started flagging games that you were playing, and then with the whole issue with Content ID actually not being the end times like we thought it was going to be. And I was like, well, they could probably just flip it and make it a positive. And instead of punishing people for playing a game and taking the revenue away, you could say, hey, why don't you help try to sell our product, since that's pretty much what you're doing anyway.
Yeah.
We deal with that all the time where we play shitty games like Chaser. Someone's like, yeah, I bought it. I don't know why. It looked like shit. But I saw it for $5 and I saw that you guys played it, so I bought it. Like, okay, where's our cut?
Skate 3.
You're already
yeah.
influencing
We saved the
people.
industry. I'm sorry, what?
You are
You're already
hero.
influencing people anyway, so you might as well.
Well,
Are you calling me an influencer?
I'm calling you the influencer
Okay.
coming this summer, starring Adam Kovic.
Lawrence is absolutely right, though. I mean, Twitch does need to disclose who's opting into this Twitch revenue
Sure.
program
Yeah.
for selling a game. I mean, like, otherwise, we're just at another YouTube impasse, which is like, you didn't say #ad, but you really love this game for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's because Ubisoft paid you $5,000 to play it. So, like, if you are opting in on the Twitch revenue program, I feel like Twitch should just put something underneath that says, like, Twitch revenue share or Twitch game seller or whatever,
Yeah.
so that you know.
Enough people do that already. Like you guys seen it with Twitch streams where it's like it's G2A or
Yeah.
cock fuel or whatever they're drinking these days. Kids and their hats.
Cock fuel. That sounds awesome.
I don't know what they're drinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of G2A was pretty prolific for a bit there.
I still see it, man. And then just HyperX is all over the place. Like I'm always just seeing logos transitioning out of some dude like getting mad at Overwatch.
It's pretty great.
That's what I want to do. I want to be able to set it so that way it isn't the game that I'm playing. It's just a game I think that they'd like.
You can do that.
Again, and I don't want any money.
Crazy James.
Crazy
Games.
James's games. This isn't the game I'm playing. I like this game more than the other game. Buy the other game.
It's not for sale. Woo! It's not.
Everything
It's
must
not
go.
It's not even a real game.
He's sending him links to the
here's-
Origin store
Here's a list of
by Battlefield 2142 or something.
here's a list of companies that will participate in this revenue share off the top: Ubisoft, Telltale Games,
Oh, of course.
Digital Extremes, High Res Studios, Tiny Build, Paradox Interactive, Tryon Worlds, Vlambeer, and others, whatever others may be. The interesting thing is like High Res, that's not really a boxed product. So I'm wondering if the links will be for
Skins?
Smite coins, skins, and things like that.
Yeah, maybe.
And then is it still? I assume the revenue split still holds true.
Yeah.
But that I feel like, there's shades of difference between selling a $60 product where somebody comes and they see like this product, like, okay, that's great. I feel like it gets into different territory when you get into free to play type models and you're selling add-on content because that's I don't know why that feels different to me.
No, you're right. It does. I don't know why it feels different either, but it does.
I guess because it's never ending. It's like if I'm like, how is Zelda? And I go see Zelda, and then I watch a guy play it for an hour, and I'm like, that looks like a game I'd like to play. I will buy that now. It's like kind of seeing a product in action. You're like, I want to buy that vacuum cleaner. But this is more like, I'm having so much fun in Vegas. Come up to this blackjack table. Come on, buddy. Come up. We'll be friends for a little bit.
Then you
Thanks. And
leave.
you're like,
Well-
you just sneak a chip from his side, and you're like, hey, come back later if you want to be friends with me. again.
Imagine if you did like a 50 crate loot crate
Yeah.
unboxing
And then you
thing
sold crates.
in,
Oh, yeah, you
in
sold loot
Overwatch,
crates, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
people could follow your link to buy those, which would then pay for your crates.
I think it's fine when that's the revenue model for that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. The game is free. You don't have to
But
buy a
like
loot box.
but like
feels
Lawrence
weird
is
about it.
saying, if you're playing a game, if you're playing Watch Dogs 2, and then someone goes, "This looks fun, I want to play it," they're going to play Watch Dogs 2. If you sell a chance to roll the dice to get a Winston skin, and I'm not saying this has happened, this isn't like necessarily the case, but it could develop into it.
Yep.
But then they spend the money based off your link and don't get the Winston, they get something else. Then it's like,
Yeah.
that's weird, because then it's like you basically bought them in with a commercial for a different
Yeah.
product.
Are you?
or
Mis-
chan- I
are,
don't know.
are
It's
you?
weird.
Is it false representation if you're playing a game where you have a bunch of add-on content and stuff that you've bought and unlocked by paying for it? They're not really getting representation of the game. I guess.
I've actually wondered that for a long time because whenever review codes are sent out, it's typically for the ultra deluxe version of
yeah,
a game.
you're right.
and that can include like different gear, or it can include things that change the difficulty curve, or like the first few hours of experience. And granted, you trust professional games reviewers to account for that when they're evaluating a game. But I wonder, and also that stuff is very rarely disclosed, and that's getting like way too deep in the weeds. I think you got to have a special kind of love for games media to get mad about a reviewer playing the special edition versus the regular edition.
Yeah.
But
From the back of his limo, preferably.
Because all games reviewers ride around in limos.
Something I thought was really interesting was that a website like Good Old Games that currently advertises on Twitch, what are they going to do? Because like they're not going to advertise on Twitch so that way people buy games from Twitch. They want to direct people to Good Old Games. So now that
Well, maybe.
Twitch is selling their game, like
Did you say Good
know
Old
what I mean?
Games was included in there or no?
No.
Not yet.
But they-
Ubisoft right now is the only. It seems like they're the only company that has their own digital
Yeah.
storefront that is also participating in this.
Gotcha.
So but they're kind of like they use Twitch to advertise and push to their website. So it's like
Well, theoretically,
I don't know if they benefit that much.
Anytime, and this is my own passive observation, but it seems like anytime a company tries to control where people go and how they spend money, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You kind of have to enable people to give you money wherever they go. So I honestly think in the example of Good Old Games, I think it would be in their interest to allow potential consumers to buy their product wherever they are.
Well, they already let you buy
Sure.
Witcher on Steam, and they're kind of anti-DRM, so I don't. They're pretty progressive. I can't imagine them being like, no, Good Old Games only.
Yeah, that's true.
I get it that
guess.
they might. I don't know. They may work on something. They also sell. I know they sell the old games, but I
Yeah,
don't
are
know.
they the only example of a reseller that you were talking about? The rest of them were actual publishers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other reseller. That was the only one that I saw
Well,
mentioned in
Witcher's-
another article was Good Old Games.
Witcher self-published on PC though, right?
Yeah,
Is
that's
it?
a weird example because Good Old Games is owned by.
CD Projekt.
CD Projekt Red,
Projekt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a strange one.
It is weird for them because also like I guess being the only game in town before except for The Witcher, like that's where you would go to get their games was Good Old Games, but now they're dividing that.
Wait, no, it wasn't like that. You could get Witcher on Good Old Games or
That's what
Steam
I said.
if you
I said
wanted to.
excluding Witcher.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, of course. They buy up and resell old games, right? That's their whole thing.
That's I think a lot of their
Yeah,
their
yeah. That's
deal.
why it's called that. They
Yeah.
basically retrofit them to work on modern Windows machines. Like
Yeah, we bought a few
pre-assembled
games
DOS
when we
boxes
had
and stuff.
Molyneux in. That's
Oh yeah, that's right.
we did. They're all like DOS box.
Well,
And
and I
stuff
played
like
a bunch of shitty spooky games for Halloween too. Remember?
Oh yeah.
The sweet FMV games. Yeah, those are all from Good Old Games.
Well, regardless, I feel like even with DLC and stuff like that, I feel like we should, if there's a little link, and then underneath it says, like I said, Twitch reseller or whatever, something that tells you that they're opted in. I'm good with that. I mean, it seems like a good system to me.
I like the idea of being able to support somebody, but then also I get something out of it instead of just throwing my money into the fire. I mean, like I know when you're giving money to a Twitch streamer or someone, you're like, oh, I like this person, I want to support them. That's really cool. And if there's a situation thinking like high res, if it's hey, buy this $5 thing, don't instead of a $60 product, saying okay, if you buy this $5 chance to get a skin in Paladins or whatever their new thing they did that's scaring everyone away to go play Overwatch. You guys hear about this? You know about this? Anybody? I'll skip it. They apparently changed Paladins and it's pissing everyone off.
Yeah, I heard secondhand reports of that.
But if that's like their revenue model, and like who knows if high res gets through this or whatever, but it's like, oh, someone might be more willing to spend $5, and that way they're now giving money to their favorite streamer, and they also got a loot box thing out of it, possibly better. I
Yeah.
don't know, instead of just straight up giving cash.
Yeah, from a
put it in an
publisher
envelope
developer
and send it.
perspective, I think it's cool for them. This isn't in place, I believe, yet to do pre-orders. But if you were a publisher like Square Enix and you're like, we're gonna do a digital press conference at E3, and as we're going through our press conference, we're gonna have links come up so that way you can go and pre-order every game
good
that we
idea.
are rolling out.
Yeah.
Like if all of E3 did that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that's in place to do something like that yet with this model, but
Yeah.
that would be really lucrative for these publishers and developers
Absolutely.
to as they're announcing. Can I, if Nintendo Twitch stream their Nintendo wouldn't want you buying their
I know-
game through Twitch.
I know the
and then you couldn't. It's,
the
it's
mo-
for PC right now.
The mindset for it's a pretty popular mindset where it's like pre-order bad, which I tend to agree with. I pre-ordered the Switch because I knew it would go out of stock. That's why I got it. It's a gamble. It's always a gamble. I totally get that. But we've talked about this before, and like I've talked to publishers and developers before, but the pre-order thing isn't really like, give us your money now. It's we're gauging to see if this game's actually going to be popular and if we're going to put some marketing dollars behind it. And so if you have a game like, I'm trying to think of like an indie darling or something that's kind of cool, like Shadow Warrior or something like that. Like a game that, oh, that looks cool, or like Doom. Like I kind of wish more people pre-order Doom, but it's hard to judge a product before it's out. And then the way they did it was with a multiplayer game, with the multiplayer component, which wasn't really selling the game very well. So it's like kind of sucks that Doom didn't get a bigger marketing budget.
Oh, I see.
And it could have possibly done better if more people pre-order it, if say they gave it to a Twitch streamer or something like that, and he was playing the single player early, and people went, "Oh, holy shit, this is better than those shitty, PR videos they put out."
Yeah.
Well, Doom's even weirder too, because that was one of the first games that Bethesda did. Like, hey, we're not giving this to reviewers either until the day it came out.
Yeah, it set a weird tone. I was like, did anyone play that internally? The way I saw Doom was it was at some like NVIDIA event. They're like, oh, we're showing off the new GTX 1080, and someone was playing single player in Doom. It was the first time they showed like the opening level. And I went, that game looks fucking awesome.
Well,
I want to play that.
They did release that like 20-minute single player video.
But they did that thing where they do at all press conferences, and they've been doing this for years. I remember going to like a Crisis 2 preview event. There's always a dude with a controller, and he's going really slow.
Oh, yeah.
And like
Looking at
cinematically
everything.
looking
yeah,
around.
like I want to see a dude just kicking ass.
Yeah.
Like going
Blitzing
nuts.
it. Yeah, there was
not-
that one Vulcan video that NVIDIA put out shortly after Doom's release. And it was somebody playing the game really fast. And the point was also to show Vulkan API in practice, so high frame rates and all that. But yeah, a lot of people saw that video and they're like, oh, that's what that game is? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, pre-order culture is really interesting. And that's another aspect that has people a little worried about selling games through Twitch, which is gamers are pretty antsy about pre-release coverage of games. I think in the past they've certainly felt lied to or that products have been misrepresented because that's kind of what marketing is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this has the potential to go even further down that route where like, a given streamer may not even have the moral compunction that the PR wing of Electronic Arts does. So they may either willingly or unwillingly go even further to misrepresent a game just because they have pre-release access or something like that.
And that way the publisher or the developer can put their hands up and go, wasn't us.
Exactly, yeah.
It was this kid who got $3 for selling Aloboy.
As long as Twitch tells
That's a
us.
girl.
That's me.
As long as Twitch tells us, then they can do whatever they want. Like, I mean, like the point, I think the thing we always kept running into at Machinima, and we see it less and less now because of the hashtag ad and telling everybody, like, we are playing this game because it's sponsored. But early on, I think everybody at Machinima didn't understand why this was such a big deal. And the reason is because you're supposed to be genuine. As a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or somebody else, you're just supposed to be playing games and having fun. And, for no other reason than you just want to stream what you're playing. And it's like, yeah, like I just really enjoy doing it. Blah, blah, blah. Like you're supposed to be genuine. And so then immediately when you're for sale, you are no longer genuine. And I feel like we've learned our lesson though. So I think everybody is sort of like when we play a sponsored game, we are being paid to play whatever game. That's why we're playing it. And then if we have fun, we have fun. And if we don't have fun, we cut those parts out. Like that's basically what it ends up being. And I think if Twitch learned that lesson, which I'm sure they have because they're owned by Amazon, a major corporation, then they'll make this easy for everybody to understand.
Well,
Crossing my fingers.
I think, and I hope that the audience climate and response has changed a lot since then too. Where I know there's always the cry of like, oh, what a sellout! They're sellouts. But I generally see more and more, commenters, viewers saying things like, well, they do have to run a business. They do have to make money, and I think full disclosure enables that to kind of like go hand in hand with the thought that this isn't selling out. It's just like, doing
It's
doing
reality.
business. It's business.
That's
It's
reality.
been,
I was like, people don't give. Unfortunately, video games are not free to make. They're not free to own. It is a business. And as much as I know it's this weird thing, and this kind of comes with things that you form a personal attachment to, you start to become very emotional about these things that really, when you break it down, they're kind of toys. We've talked about this ad nauseum, so it's like we're kind of just repeating old ground here, but that's really all it is. And video games could go away tomorrow and everything would be okay. I'm much happier being in a world where video games exist. But at the end of the day, it is a business and they do need to make money. And I know every once in a while something like The Witcher will come out, Witcher 3, and it'll make $1 billion. And people go, see, game companies? See? And like, right, okay. You can point at the one example that makes your case, but
Right.
it's. I mean, look, I'm not crazy about people lying about like the whole Watch Dogs thing. Like, I'm not exactly crazy about that, but that's also be savvy and wait and don't be impulsive like me and buy a Switch.
It's unfortunate because
Stupid.
it all comes down to like you as a consumer really like educating. Is this something that you actually want? Have you looked into deciding that you're getting the best value for what you do want and stuff like that? But then a lot of the industry is built on people not doing that homework either too. That's just, and all businesses kind of are built on people not necessarily doing all of their homework. And so some people will get taken advantage of along the way. I think, like Bruce is saying, they're trying to put something new out there. The least they can do is try and make it easy to figure out.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's all bets are off, right? But like put something on there to make it easy, so at least you can understand the intentions.
Right.
Everywhere we get it, everyone's intention is to be happier or make more money. And so, like, at least let us know which one it is. It could
Or
be
both,
both. Yeah.
My stance on this is that I like this, and I think it is
I do too.
a beneficial thing.
I agree.
Until it is not.
Yeah.
Especially because all my viewers are gonna get dirt cheap games.
Yeah.
Dirt cheap games at James
James
Games.
Games.
Comes watch James Games
5%
streams.
is nothing.
James Games streams.
Pied
Where
Piper
we're
of
gonna-
Twitch. Pied
Games,
Piper of
all
Twitch.
games, 5% cheaper.
I thought
That's promised.
I thought you said they're free, James. They're
No,
giving those-
I just
free.
give up my 5%.
Free games.
I give up my 5%.
James said free earlier.
free
but I
games.
know he said
Free games compared to expensive
So-
games. These games might as well be free. They're 5% cheaper. James Games streams.
It's funny because James and I were going to play Overwatch this weekend. I messaged him like, hey, do you want to maybe stream? Like,
Still didn't
it's kind of
message
fun
me.
to do.
Still
What's
didn't
that?
do it.
He didn't
Every
do it
week.
anyway. So
No, he
this is
didn't do
worse.
it.
Before you
It
start
never even
bitching
happened.
and complaining,
God.
understand that he did message me and then never played. So
Well, I messaged and said, hey,
You
I'm
still
going to
message. That's the thing that never happens.
no, it's worse because then I'm sitting around waiting to play Overwatch.
But I messaged you back and said, sorry, I'm probably not gonna be able to make it. But I was saying, like, would it be kind of cool to stream? And like, okay, yeah, sure. But we only ever stream Overwatch, and you can't make money off of that. So
Oh, I see.
yeah, you can't sell that.
Not yet.
Well, I'm not.
I doubt they're gonna.
Yeah,
nah.
probably not.
They have their own streaming thing built into the BattleNet app.
Yeah.
So f that. They don't need your money. They don't need to give you money. They have so much money. Money.
Can
Free
I-
skins at James Stream.
Oh, not free. 5% cheaper. But that's practically free.
You can't buy skins.
It's
You
just
buy a
I'm giving
chance
up
to
my
get a
5%
skin.
for you,
Can
the
I-
consumer.
Can I add something incendiary to my
Please
former
do.
point?
Oh, yeah.
So because I feel like a PewDiePie episode, people got upset.
They were
we
pissed.
talked about it because James made a valid point that sometimes people, if we don't fall on one side or the other, people get upset because they don't know where we stand. And I'll tell you where I stand. On
Oh,
this.
here we go.
Oh, snap.
I think it's good, and I think if you get upset because you think a Twitch streamer swayed you to believe that a game is something it's not, you're a baby, and you couldn't look up that game and figure out for yourself from different avenues whether you thought it was good or not,
Preach it.
and that's on you. And I'm a
hands to- oh.
30-year-old grown-ass woman, and I can figure out if I'm going to buy a game not based on one Twitch streamer's stream.
And also, to add to that last podcast that we had, when one member of
man.
the panel here says something, it doesn't represent the entire views of the whole group.
Uh-oh.
Jeez.
Crazy James Games going out of business.
Crazy James Games is sweating it.
my views
We're
are
going brick and mortar. That's Crazy James.
my opinions are Bernie Burns, and not my own.
I actually ran everything I was gonna say past Bernie, and he said, "I agree with all
Yeah.
of it."
But he
yeah.
said it from a drone.
He
Yeah,
gave you
a
the-
little drone dropped a note, and I petted
He's
the drone.
he's over there right now.
I hope we all become drones.
But anyway,
are.
that's just my thing. That's my thing. My very incendiary statement
Fucking
on the
got
whole
him.
thing.
What, that everone who likes PewDiePie's a baby? Is that what you said?
No,
No, I got no problem with you.
Adam immediately messed it
Yeah,
up.
I was half paying attention.
Hey, are you a commenter?
First clap for me. You can't listen.
Bruce's claps do not represent James Games' opinions.
Well,
was-
speaking of James Games,
here it comes.
so it's interesting because a lot of people, I think speaking of media making up narrative or whatever, some gaming websites are basically saying that this entire initiative is trying to take a chunk out of Steam's market share, which whatever, man. People buy games just because Steam is number one doesn't mean everything is directly targeting it. I guess in effect it might.
In effect, yeah.
I mean,
but
it creates
the thing-
competition, which is good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, but the thing that's really fascinating to me is Twitch has been kind of following the Steam playbook in how they're developing their service because they've added bits and cheering and a bunch of like
What
weird
are,
meta
what are
shit.
bits? I mean, I know
Bit-
bits are on a man, but
Yeah, similar. Essentially, bits are they're like circus tickets. It's essentially you can either buy bits, in which your money becomes bits, or you can watch ads, and then you get bits for watching ads, and then you have a bit bank, and then you can cheer bits to people, which then turns back into money for the streamer.
Got it.
Which sets up a really weird situation in which kids who have no money will watch ads, farm up bits, and then cheer them to their favorite
I
streamers.
don't understand a word you just said.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of
Well, it's
mumbo
gonna get
jumbo
worse.
out of-
Get off my lawn.
Oh, Larry Santiago there.
It's
Why,
gonna get
why
worse.
is that bad? Isn't that exactly what the advertisers and everybody wants?
Oh yeah, no, they love it. Ish. I mean, it's weird because those are impressions, but they're not meaningful impressions because that person's never going to buy a car. They just happen to watch.
just
are
farming
they not
the
gonna,
ads.
Like, click-throughs or something?
Yeah,
Exactly.
but that's been happening.
You
with
be the Chinese click
ads
farm.
and commercials for
Boy from Boise,
Yeah, I know,
Idaho.
I know.
history of time.
So that's only the wind up. The Twitch selling games aspect is it's going to get even more gamified. Here, let me read. Okay, so this is again via
So
games
buying
industry.
games is a game now.
It is.
And I mean, Steam,
I mean, it was.
Steam's
Steam-
been doing it
How
for
many bits
that's
do I
true.
get for buying games? You hear that? You get the best number of bits for your bits. Here, James Crane's names.
Piper stream. Twitch.
They write another incentive for Twitch shopping is the introduction of Twitch crates. By shopping
no.
via
Yeah,
Twitch,
yeah.
What?
the community will receive a free crate that includes random items such as emotes, chat badges, and bits. So if you
Explain
buy
bits again.
if you buy, it's kind of like it reminds me of getting trading card packs on Steam, where it's just like there's some computer that a light turns from red to green, and then everyone gets a booster pack for Skyrim or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently through some nebulous process, if enough people buy games through Twitch, Twitch will give everyone
I figured it out.
bits and chat
I figured it out,
icons.
Lawrence.
What?
I'm only going to stream Twitch. I'm streaming Twitch, the game Twitch.
What?
Oh,
I'm going to be streaming myself
Just opening
opening
Twitch crates?
crates, getting bits.
Oh, Twitch crates.
People will link through to buy the crates and the bits. They'll think through, and now I'm getting bits on bits.
Bitception.
I'm at the top of the bit pyramid.
You
with
joke,
bits
but
on
built on
bits.
crates.
someone's doing this.
I'm only streaming Twitch from now on. That's the only game left.
The only game
Can I
worth playing.
stream that on YouTube?
Crazy James Games has pivoted so many times in the last 10 minutes.
Look,
We
You
got to
pivot-
stay alive.
Either
in this
pivot or you
industry.
persevere.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
and
love
he's
it. Man.
doing both.
We're the new
Amazing
Google.
small business.
It's not Google.
It's not even. Yeah, we're new Google. We stream Twitch.
It's just, man, there's a lot of moments that come and go, and I think,
Oh, yeah,
man, that's great.
us.
That's just great that's happening in the real world. What the frontal lobe does.
Can you stream your
Why is
your
the gaming
bit-
industry corrupt? There
Your
we go.
bit things on YouTube?
Well, I'm going to cross stream to YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because
Double
you're trying to
stream.
cast the widest net. That's what I know from business.
No,
So as CEO,
Oh.
president, and janitor of James Games Strands, I
wonder. We didn't even get to this, but Lawrence, I wonder if like this is also a Twitch initiative to be like, let's pull people back from YouTube streaming. Let's bring those streamers
suppose, yeah.
back from YouTube to
I don't
Twitch
think-
where they belong.
Oh,
don't
the
think anyone
creators.
went
there.
Oh, okay, I see.
did anyone go there?
And we stream on YouTube all the time.
Yeah,
we
well,
do.
Yeah, we're like the
but
only
we're,
one.
We're very, we're very, like we don't really use it for money or anything. We just stream.
We don't?
Uh-oh.
Why the hell not?
I've never noticed.
We're
the
trying
difference.
to like James Games says, we're trying to cast the widest net,
yeah.
and so that's what we're concerned about. We're not
Well,
a streamer.
I'm concerned about delicious meals at affordable prices.
There it is.
All right.
And that's why this episode of Dude Soup is sponsored by Blue Apron, which will send you food in the mail, and then you can follow instruction cards to turn that food into a meal for you or your family. It's affordable, and they say it's less than $10 per person per meal, which is pretty sweet. It's getting hard to eat out on that budget. So, aside from that, it's just like rice and beans and eggs, depending on how poor of a college student you are.
Top ramen.
Top ramen, there you go. But yeah, it's man, for $10 you can get a pretty great meal, provided you cook it correctly. But that's the other part. It's the other part of the process. You learn how to cook.
Yeah.
And then they also guarantee the freshness of all their ingredients. Having used the service for going on a year now, I have never received anything that's like remotely close to spoiling. Like it's always very fresh. It's always packaged very well, and it's always super fresh. And because I like reading the names of recipes, here are the menu items on deck for this week. You got salmon piccata with orzo and broccoli, pork chops and miso butter with bok choy and marinated apple, vegetable chili and baked sweet potatoes with crispy tortilla strips, and spicy shrimp coconut curry with cabbage and rice. Delicious. I've really enjoyed being a Blue Apron member. I think you might too. So if you feel like trying it out, please go to blueapron.com/soup, and you get your first 3 meals for free with free shipping. Now that is part of that deal is part of a subscription, so you have to buy a month at a time, and you get one of those weeks off. So it's essentially like 25% off. Well, once more, that's blueapron.com/soup for 3 meals for free with free shipping. Thank you for sponsoring us, Blue Apron. And I guess moving on from there, we've got another way for people to earn money and also ruin everything about video games
War
forever.
Mordor?
Well, yeah, there's more Mordor, which
More
is pretty
Mordor.
sweet. More Mordor.
More War Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor.
No, this relates to paid mods, which everybody hated for some reason. Because I guess mods should always be free no matter what. This is kind of interesting. The people who make Ark, Survival Evolved.
There you go.
Mordor.
You got it.
Survived.
They just announced a new program where on a monthly basis they're going to identify mods in process and basically pay that developer a stipend to finish the work on the mod.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
really cool.
cool.
So this is from PC Gamer, and I'll just read this paragraph real quick. In a call with Ark's lead designer, lead programmer, and co-creator director Jeremy Stiglitz last Friday, he explained how the new sponsored mod program will work. Each month, Studio Wildcard will select 15 modders and pay them each a stipend of $4,000 to work on their mods. Each month, the mod will be evaluated, and it will be determined if those modders will continue to be paid for the next month, or if a mod will be dropped from the program and a new one added. There's also the potential to expand the number of modders being paid monthly for this stipend. Quote, if we have to expand the program because 15 mods are all doing so well that we don't want to cut any of them, then we'll expand the program to more mods every month. So they're essentially bringing on some contract developers to help make content for their game.
I think that's Valve's approach to how they did the mods was very poorly handled.
Yeah.
They did it. They try to do a blanket thing. They try to do their sort of. They wanted to sell things in their like Spurgy kind of way, where they go, "We're going to create the system, and then you kids figure it out because we don't want to talk to you because you're just going to ask us about Half-Life 3, and we don't want to talk to you." And so it got into this weird system where people were like, "Well, you could just steal them and upload it," and it didn't work. It didn't make a lot of sense. I like how these guys are handling it. If you're actually having a human contact another human and saying, "Hey, we like the work that you're doing. Come work with us," and then that way, I don't know, that to me helps expand the gaming industry,
Ironically,
which is nice.
what you're describing is what Valve used to do for like Counter-Strike and stuff
Yep.
like that. When they made, because Counter-Strike was originally a mod.
Back when they didn't lock themselves up in their ivory tower,
And they
can't hear
they used to
me.
hire the people that were making
So
the mods
high.
for their games.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, we really like this mod, and it's
Ice
like
Frog.
the community loves it, so come on into Valve. And they used to do that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're a much larger company now, but
yeah, they can't do that. It's like they should have almost broken off and started like an own like smaller like a startup within their
Right,
business to do like deal with that sort of stuff instead of like we don't have managers. It's a flat structure. Like clearly it's working so well.
Probably a good time to tell you guys James Games has been acquired
By who?
by Valve.
Valve bought
no.
Crazy James
They want to
Games.
start producing
man.
mods
For how-
cheaper than ever for free.
I was gonna say how much
Free mods, James Games.
How much money did you make on that deal there, James?
I gave up my 5%.
Valve's only going to give you 5%.
They were gonna give me 5% stake in Valve.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you gave it up?
And I gave it up. I gave it back to the consumers.
You passed it on to the
Damn.
consumer.
Passed it
Wow,
on.
man.
Wild. Next
Crazy
Google.
James
Pied
Games.
Piper. But how's your relationship with Valve and Steam conflict with your relationship with Twitch?
Huh?
James fell asleep.
That's for the courts to decide. And they're deciding right now. I'm not legally allowed to speak on the matter.
No, this is. I was. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I appreciate that there's some quality assurance
Yeah,
here as well, that they're being
absolutely.
very selective by saying, we're really going to choose who we want making these mods. And if
Mm.
they aren't up to snuff on a month-to-month basis,
Yeah.
you might get dropped from the program. And I kind of appreciate that because as somebody that like now has taken over from Bruce doing like modding for the channel, not making mods, but just
getting them,
curating and
yeah.
installing them. There's a lot of shit out there, and there's a lot of like who cares.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of really talented modders that rely on Kickstarter and other Patreons to fund their part-time jobs because that's essentially what it is. Modding is
Well,
like
Funhaus does. We fund Julio and
Yeah.
IB. We give to his. Is it Patreon or
his,
Kickstarter?
I think it's a Kickstarter.
We give to his
Yeah.
Kickstarter, and,
or sorry, Patreon. It's Patreon.
and we get his mods a few days early. So I
Yeah.
mean, like, and I'm more than willing to pay that from Funhaus because he's given us so much content, and also like he's just a badass coder and
Yeah.
a badass modder.
And if you are a really good coder, there's a chance now if you get involved with this program, like who knows if it could lead to a permanent job with one of these
Mm-hmm.
companies, these developers. Like that for me as a modder would be incentive to say this program might be for me.
I actually had no idea that he was doing that. That's a infinitely better system than Steam was trying to do. I think what people don't want is to be locked out of something that was once given to them for free. And when you introduce the Steam Workshop and go, hey, you like Gary's mod? Look at all this stuff. And you go, wow. And you're like, you like Left 4 Dead? Look at all these extra things. You hit a button and it's there. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, you want to be a Teletubby? That's $5. And then you go, wait a minute. Does the Teletubby Corporation make this? Like, no. Some guy made it. It's like, then why am I paying for it? Because it's obviously now there's all these weird checks and balances there. But if there is a way to like pay someone for their work, but then it eventually becomes free in some way, like that is such a better system.
It's interesting because sometimes you can see the difference between a developer that was never expecting the success that they've received and a developer that like has a high standard for their own success. And I don't know anything about the internal workings of the developers behind Ark, but it feels like they were like, we're just gonna put this out here. It's another survival game. We feel like we did some different things with it, but we'll see if people like it. And it kind of took off. Yeah. Became this really, really big thing. And they're like, oh, this is awesome. Like we have this huge thing, and so we want to just keep people playing this game.
Absolutely.
And so this seems like a very smart decision from a developer that I think is very happy with what they've achieved through their game thus far. I think you would never see something like this coming from a AAA title that had millions and millions of dollars behind it and developers' reputation at stake and
I
stuff
don't know.
like that.
I could see Bethesda Softworks getting behind this possibly just because of how much they've embraced modding.
That's
and then
true, yeah.
even got it over on consoles.
Yeah.
Well, did that ever actually happen? Like, I remember they shut it down when people freaked out about.
I thought it did on Xbox.
Did they shut? I don't know.
Console mods? I thought it went.
I don't
thought
use consoles. You pleb.
I'm not sure. I can Google it right now. Lawrence, what are people mad about for this? Like
Nothing. I was
Oh yeah.
just throwing it out there.
It just exists.
I was gonna actually ask. Have you played Horizon Zero Dawn? Anyone yet? Nobody.
Isn't it not out
It's
yet?
Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tonight,
okay.
actually, 9 p.m.
Oh,
tonight.
Because everyone on my damn Twitter feeds all like they all own Switches. They're all living in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, it's
Man, I thought
weird because I'm adjacent to gaming royalty, but I'm not that yet.
no,
So
exactly.
people are
yeah.
like
Sitting
talking about how
next to us. He's sitting next to us.
yeah. It's just like
Can we scrap the quintessential gamer T-shirt and instead make
It's-
adjacent to
yeah.
gaming royalty?
There are
You're the cuck of the gaming industry.
There's always amazing moments where you're reminded that no one gives a shit about you. I love our community and the people that watch this and the people that comment. I love them. And they'll talk about how they watched this after a long day, and that makes me feel so good, and I'm so happy to be doing what I'm doing. And then something will happen,
then I don't get a fucking Switch.
and then I'll realize, oh, other than them, no one gives a shit about us. And that was a fun example of that.
With the nature of our content, Nintendo's not going to give us a Switch early because why would they want an influencer appealing to a demographic that they don't directly appeal to?
yeah.
We're just
We're gonna
do
sell
it.
that
Makes
Switch?
sense.
With that said, though, we bought one, and we're gonna get
That's
drunk.
100.
Men-
Oh, yeah.
Many.
Well, I'm saying
everybody bought one.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying we bought enough that hopefully one of them arrives on time so we can get drunk and play with it.
Man, I don't mind it though. I'm people's gamer, whatever. I kind of enjoy.
No, he's nothing. You have no relation to the people.
I enjoy being in the trenches, struggling with my fellow
You
gamers.
just keep giving yourself different
Waiting.
monikers.
I know.
Well, that's how you play the game. Game of life, Twitch.
It looks like you can get mods on both
Yeah.
consoles.
You're the only guy I know with
PlayStation
2
with them?
VR
Yeah.
headsets, by the way.
Oh yeah, I need to get rid of one of
You have
those.
2 VR.
Can I
don't you have,
borrow
like, 3
PSVR
Xbox?
so I can play Psychonauts?
No, that's the good one.
please?
Yeah, he wants to get rid of his Oculus.
Hey, James, we just bought one.
I know, but that's for the office, right?
No, just take it home. That's the point. It's for work.
You have to bring it back.
You got to bring it back. You can't keep it
What
forever.
if I just go in there and I never come out? You could bring me back to the office, but as long as you don't unplug it.
wheeling out.
Yeah, it's just a car battery attached to
An IV drip.
Yeah.
Got to keep that heart beating.
Holy shit, there are eagles in this
Yeah,
thing?
we might have to
Yeah,
go
why
back
are
to
we
Ark.
modding
No,
this?
God,
We
no.
might have to.
Because Spool took the server with him when he
Yeah,
left.
he did take that.
Yeah, we'll
server.
start over though.
Spool did all the
That's
work for
true.
that one. Man, that's so cool.
I don't know. I think we've moved over to Conan.
Yeah, we have Conan now.
I'm seeing it though.
I don't see any testicles.
You either have to either have to hack the game
I've
or
seen some
move the
testicles.
game part of it, or play it for 15 hours.
Dragons!
Okay.
Oh my god!
Look at that
when-
tiny man on it.
Yeah.
I did this.
With
These are
Ark,
mods,
with Ark
though.
though, yeah, you can do cheats and mods, and we can fast forward through the game.
Then why are you even doing it? Just watch a video.
So we can ride a dragon.
you're seeing it right now. That's what it is.
We're doing it.
We make dragon
If
video.
if 4 or 5 of us can be on dragons,
Here's what I love about
of
the game,
China
though.
are you
The cover art has like this hot chick
Yeah.
with like a gun. She looks like Lara Croft, and then there's another dude who's got like a cool
that
hat and
on there.
everything. They've done so much for the game and modded like cool stuff into it, but all of the people are still cavemen, shirtless cavemen in underwear. Like it's like
Tiny
he's
arms.
like he's driving a replica of the Warthog, but it's still a shirtless dude with horrific proportions with the huge shit and underwear. Love it.
man, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
still hate.
say
crafting.
goodbye to Games Media, everybody, because it's gone. Um,
Oh, did we solve it?
yeah,
or-
we did. It's,
Finally.
Taco Bell bought it.
everyone's a shill. Yeah, they're all Taco Bell.
Long
like-
time ago.
What a delicious victory.
Call them hashtag bellouts.
You're not allowed to watch the stream unless you're eating a fried chicken taco.
Didn't they
close
make
that?
a not? This is not
Yeah, I'm
mad.
shutting it down.
Didn't they make a shell that was made of chicken?
Yeah, they did. The naked chicken gordita.
We're getting so much closer to idiocracy. It's just. I walked by
that's-
Fuddruckers the other day and went, "Oh yeah,
That's one of those
that's a
things. Like,
restaurant."
when I think about an 8-year-old kid binge watching ads so they can give money to somebody else who's playing a video game, to me that's like, okay, we're
in the
We
future.
did it.
That's
we
freedom.
we broke society.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free and cheap.
I mean, Lawrence, you'd love that. That's like cyberpunk.
No,
stuff.
it's great. It's
Like,
great. I love it and hate
yeah.
it at the same
Like,
time.
I got you some digital creds, man. I watched it. I mean, it's not as.
Got the digishakes.
Yeah.
I just
Sorry.
need some bits. Just need some
Speaking of,
bits.
speaking of idiocracy, we went to the new IKEA in Burbank this weekend.
Oh,
It's
boy.
like 49,000 square feet or something. Biggest IKEA in.
There's another IKEA?
They
Well,
replaced it.
The other
Oh,
one's
they
gone,
renovated.
but it's like, what the fuck
It's,
else is that?
either-
Giant blue and yellow
The
building
funny thing
to
is,
me.
Jess and I drove by it and we're like, "What the fuck
well,
is that?"
either biggest in U.S. or world.
Whoa.
I'm not sure which one it was.
It's
but
a small village.
Good lord,
frightening.
they had about 75 people working in the parking lot, directing people through traffic, and I was like, we were driving through the parking lot, and I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing? And then I'm like, oh my god, they're showing people just how to park their cars.
Yeah.
Like this is dumb.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever
It's a
seen.
pamphlet of like kind of a weird naked dude like
Yeah.
pointing like
Well,
this.
you
is
know,
how
It was like
drive.
People can't handle that
if you've ever
responsibility.
been to like the Disneyland parking lot,
Yeah.
there's like people at every intersection going here because
Yeah.
they're trying to efficiently move people in and out. Except this is just IKEA.
I'm like, I know how to navigate a parking lot. There were 5 police officers working the
it's-
IKEA parking lot.
it sounds
shit.
stupid,
For tax dollars.
But as we were driving out past the straightaway was maybe a quarter mile, and there were, I would say, 10 IKEA employees spread out, just saying to drive straight every single time. Another
holy
guy
balls.
came up from one of the parking lanes and almost hit Elise and I.
Oh God.
That's why they need those people.
So they need the people. And then we drove past another guy, and he's like, an IKEA employee. He's like, I saw that. I would have been your witness. And I'm like,
Like,
that's why you're
thanks?
here.
Man,
That's
it was
why you're
dumb.
here.
It was dumb.
So that's how you guys. That's what you do for dates.
That's what we do.
We need
it's
computer
like-
chairs.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna go see it.
It's easier than going out of town. You just go,
go to
into
IKEA.
IKEA.
Well, not that IKEA will ever show up, but it's time for another week of hard netting.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So last week we met a Russian cult that worships Gadget.
Yeah.
I don't remember last name. Lock Wrench, I think.
What?
What?
Gadget.
Yeah, Gadget.
Rescue Rangers.
Oh, her last name. Gadget
Yeah.
blank.
Oh, Lockjaw.
No.
No.
It will be.
Yeah.
Very popular with the women.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I
Did,
can't. the
did
jaw
Gadget
is
win?
locked.
Gadget won, right?
Gadget
Gadget
won.
won.
Yeah, she absolutely won, and probably will win again.
I hope so.
As long as
see.
I'm here.
So this week on Hard Netting, and this is informed by current events, ripped from the headlines, if you will.
Okay.
Who's netting harder, a Russian cult that worships Gadget, or dudes that threaten suicide so they can see nudes on the internet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But this isn't like a. Okay.
Tale as old as time.
Lawrence told me about this earlier, and it sounded like a 10% a teacup type of thing. It was like one.
Oh yeah, no,
This only happened once.
happened once, but that's still a dude on the internet netting as hard as he possibly
He's
can.
netting.
Yeah.
He's netting.
Okay, wait. Did he prove that it worked?
I don't think it worked in this case.
So he's dead?
because there are transcripts, and we'll read those aloud right now.
Okay.
Let me.
Yeah, we need a little bit more. We
Sure.
need a little bit more before.
yeah,
we can-
it gets pretty good.
okay.
So we got some imagery here.
Oh, nice.
I'll fall on the grenade and be the guy threatening suicide so I can see some titties.
All right.
Lord knows I have no personal experience.
Guessing
in that
he's in
field,
with
nor
the
will I.
Burger
Okay.
King icon.
But somebody else, who would like to be the lady? All right, Elise.
There we go. Yeah.
For once in my life.
Thank God we
someone
hired
call
her.
me a lady.
All right, Elise. I'm just gonna lead off here with today at 1:37 a.m.
Okay.
Sigh. Send me some pics of you, slanty face. Okay. Hello.
You had me terrified.
Well, not normal pics.
What?
Send me some pictures, okay? Not those kinds of pictures.
It's getting weird.
Oh, it's gonna get weird.
Dot face.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
I thought you didn't care about stuff like that.
It's different this time.
Why is that?
Because of the situation. You promised.
I really don't want to.
Don't break your promise. You know what'll happen.
And I'm highly against stuff like that.
Oh, you didn't say.
Highly against.
It's sexual.
Oh, it's sexual. It's sexual, and I'm highly against stuff like that.
You agreed. No limitations. I'm trusting you with my life.
Dot face.
So you keep your promise?
There's got to be something else.
No, it's the only thing. The fact that it's hard for you is why it will work.
I don't want to do it because you're just going to post it everywhere.
No, I will not. I promise I will not even keep it. You have my word. I'll look at the pics once and not even save them.
Then you'll use it for your own pleasure.
And you can remove them from to conversation. No, I won't. I'm not like that. You should know by now. You can trust me. I'm trusting you with my life. Trust me to be honest.
Did Lawrence write? Like, did you actually say these things?
It's from his phone.
I'm really not comfortable with sending nudes to people.
I know you aren't. If you were comfortable doing it, it wouldn't be special.
And
Got her there.
How would it ever prove that I cared about you?
Would you ever do this if you didn't care about me?
I wouldn't do it to people I even care about now.
Just keep your promise. I'm starting to feel sick.
I'm not going to send nudes. It goes against all my morals.
So you would rather I kill myself than keep your promise?
I'd rather you not kill yourself, and I'd rather not send nudes.
Ooh, tough situation.
That's actually my custom license.
Slanty face. Are you scared that I won't be trustworthy with them?
It's not that. It's more the fact that I have some dignity as a woman, and I'm as a woman, and I'm not going to throw it all away.
Slanty face. Maybe not full nudes?
Still, I'm not going to show you just my boobs either.
So you're breaking your promise.
I don't want to, but if you're really going to put me against my dignity as a woman and sending nudes, I'm going to have to go with my dignity. I'm not a slut.
I'm not asking you to be a slut. I'm asking you to trust me and show me that you really care about me. I'm not asking you to sleep with me, just a minor flash. I'm not even that sexually attracted to people I'm dating, so it's not really sexual for me. It's trust. Think of it as Channing in front of a sister or something.
There's other ways to test my trust.
This is the only way I can be certain. If it makes you feel better, I can send one in return. Since I'm deciding to trust you too, and since I'm kind of famous online, it's a much bigger risk for me.
Oh.
I don't want a nude of you.
I just offered to make you feel better. I've never even taken a pic like that before.
Also, I'm not going to let you do something so dumb at the risk of your own job.
Why? Are you not trustworthy enough to not post it online? I'm willing to trust you and risk my job to show you that you could trust me.
I'm not going to do something so stupid. You shouldn't do something like that so easily.
Why? I'm about to kill myself. Compared to that, nothing really matters.
There's other ways to do this. Also, suicide should never be an option. If the only way to be certain if someone cares about you at all is for them to send you nudes.
Sigh. Just never mind, okay? Forget all this. I knew it was dumb to trust you or think you cared. I'm gonna go end my life. Sorry I made your life worst.
It keeps going?
Yeah. So I guess we could
Look how long. Look at the dot on the side of the.
wow,
on
we're
the
only
side of the
halfway.
line.
Yeah, we can fast forward this a little bit. Basically,
Does he ever kill himself?
Well, the best. I like that this is all about trust, and yet
God.
we're reading this conversation.
Yeah.
Trust and privacy.
They call 911.
Yeah, I hear it. Okay, then. I'm taking the pills now, then.
You're just going to throw away your life that easily?
I've been suicidal a long time, and it's already done. If I don't get medical attention soon, I'll be dead.
Then call 911.
No. Goodbye, okay? I'm sorry for everything.
Sorry I couldn't help.
You could. All you had to do was keep your promise.
There was other ways to test my trust and my care.
But two, it's Oakley. You're better off without
Oh, like,
me.
yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
This is really good.
He's,
Oh,
sorry, having trouble sleeping.
Oh, give me a break.
no, I'm not.
Slanty face.
Curb your it'll
Curb your prunes.
He is netting pretty hard.
Oh, he is- he's going
He's
for
netting
it.
pretty hard.
9-1 tilde.
Underscore face.
Kept eyes up in my lager.
We shouldn't care.
That's amazing.
Time out. We shouldn't be laughing at suicide. Suicide's
No,
not
we
allowed
shouldn't.
now.
No,
we're
really
not
serious.
laughing at
We're
suicide,
not-
but he's
it's a
pretending to
So just
die.
full disclosure to the audience, we're not laughing at this. We're laughing at this
to try and get her to
douchebag.
send him titties.
So yeah, to send nudes.
Slash face.
Okay.
No.
I know you didn't car.
I really did care.
No.
Yes.
Prove it.
No, I just wish you would be like, okay, nudes are on the way, and he'd be like, sweet. Like,
Exactly.
Well, according to you, the only way to prove it would be to send you nudes.
You'd rather I die.
No, I don't want you to. I didn't want you to die.
Keep your promise. Still a little time.
It's like Armageddon.
It's too late if you're already this bad.
Hospital only 4 miles away.
Then go.
Keep your promise.
he's been like this for minutes now. By
I
the
know,
way, the
absolutely.
timestamp has changed.
I'm
Well,
not
he
going
took
to
the
send
pills
you
and
nudes.
4 minutes later.
Yeah.
I'm not sending you nudes.
Just one. No face. No face.
No face.
Still not going to do that.
Oh, crying face. Bye then.
Bye
He
then,
even
I
messed up the
guess.
crying face.
Slash
Yeah.
face.
Oh yeah, and then it just keeps going.
Oh my god.
Wait,
Wow.
why did it go into night mode?
Because I think this is a different chat. This is this. It's either a different or same dude trying to scare up nudes from somebody else.
Good for
That's
him.
awesome.
Wow.
He was netting pretty hard.
That was an amazing
He was
performance.
netting pretty hard.
Yeah.
The thing is, there was a intent and there was a performance
Yeah,
there.
that really was.
And he executed on both.
And good for her for
Yeah.
not putting
Massively
her
good for her.
dignity.
Young ladies out there,
Great.
please
Never
don't let
gave
it-
in.
Yeah.
For the women's.
Yeah, for the women's.
For the women's. So okay,
That's
you guys
tough.
have a lot to think
You've
about
been
now.
quiet. Does this hit close to home?
No, it's so perfectly pathetic and provocative. It's a weird thing to solicit so many nudes from so many different people when nudity exists online. So he has a very particular fetish.
Just this girl.
Well, it looked like there's another girl too.
It's
Oh, was
this
it?
is his
there a second
MO.
one?
Well,
Was
yeah.
the girl his girlfriend?
He says
They
she
were
was
dating.
The final thing is like it's an excerpt from Twitch chat of somebody being like, oh, this dude is talking to me, and someone else is like, yeah, he does that.
It's almost like
you're
he
like the
gets-
fifth one.
He gets off on the duplicity or the manipulation
I think
rather
it's the-
than the nudes.
So it's weird because
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I remember at a certain age, yeah, there is something about that trust that is pretty exciting, and I think if you don't recognize that you're a manipulator, then you think you're just after that emotion, that connection.
I like that he claimed to be. And he said, "I'm kind of famous,
Famous.
online."
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that?
Because
means?
he stands to lose so much if his dick got out there. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why he
And I'm
deserves
like, who's
her
that? Is that
trust.
Ray? That's not Ray.
Right.
You just got raid.
Yeah. Like I said, he's probably some kid with like a couple hundred followers. And he's like, whoa, biggest number I've ever seen.
Oh,
Like,
James Films Games.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
James
any one
Games.
of our Twitch channels.
5% off, and I send nudes.
You get a little dick pic with every purchase.
Well,
I promise to you.
For me,
I like that he did the fame card though.
for me, the only reason I don't think this is as good as the Gadget thing
Okay.
is because this was obviously somebody lying and manipulating and putting on almost performance. So for me, while I think an amazing performance, fantastic,
Yeah.
I do not think that there's more than one person bought into something that is, I thought, entirely real, meaning the Gadget thing. Gadget seemed
Good for her for not
entirely-
falling for
Yeah.
it.
She didn't
too.
fall for
Yeah,
it.
good
That's
for her.
that's
And
an
doing-
example of someone not falling for it.
Doing the
Yeah.
right thing.
But I imagine if you went to this well long enough, someone might.
Oh,
and
sure.
People could get hurt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dangerous. It's not something that's completely selfless like a love of Gadget.
Show of
Gadget,
hands.
yeah.
If you were 15, do you think that you would have fallen for this, or do you think you would have,
Well, I mean, I was a man, so
Yeah,
nobody was ever soliciting nudes from me.
I did. That's not what I asked, Bruce.
That's the thing, though. It's that dichotomy is fascinating. I've seen this play out a bit on the internet, or even in real life, where a dude is like, "If you leave me, I'm gonna hurt myself." Like that's the sort of hostage, emotional hostage that dudes like to use because
That's
it works
all he's
sometimes.
got. Yeah.
Basically,
Well, it's not just dudes. There are women
that's
that
true.
do the same thing.
Absolutely right.
And small pets.
Women are rarely after like dick pics.
Yeah.
But it would be amazing if a woman send me your cock, or I'm gonna take some pills.
Like, oh, here, just do it.
Yeah, I
just do
know.
it.
Yeah, you're already like
work.
clicking send. You're like, oh no, but okay.
I'm doing this to save your life.
I'll have to go ahead and vote. I'm voting for Gadget.
Okay.
I think they're pure of heart
I agree.
and pure of mind, and I admire that more. I think that embodies the internet spirit.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
I still think Fruit Bicep should have taken
No,
Gadget.
it's not.
but
The audience voted,
but
Elise, I'm
I'm
sorry.
going to say in this situation, Gadget still prevails.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, all right. Well.
Adam?
Can
I'm
you
pro.
recap what Gadget is real quick?
Oh, sure. There's a Russian cult that worships Gadget.
Don't encourage
The
him
the
more.
squirrel?
Yeah. Is she?
She's a-
I feel like chipmunk.
She's a mouse.
Yeah,
mouse, I think.
Nobody knows.
the mechanic from Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, Rescue Rangers
Yeah,
Gadget.
I'm going Gadget because I like the idea. I like the cult of personality. I like that people all together said we believe in this. This is just one douchebag being a douchebag
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Though.
for the lulz.
I'm saying like this happens, not a lot, but pretty common. Basically, guys
if you could somehow, Lawrence, Undercover Law is the new show we're doing,
you want me to find multiple
where
examples?
if you could get in to where there's a group of guys who did this,
dudes
then-
like trading secrets,
Like
yeah,
like a
and
a
they're like,
bulletin board.
This is and they're putting up like
Sharing success
I don't know if they
rates.
call them like suicide nudes or something like that.
Suicides.
Sue
There it
Nudes.
is. Nailed it. We got it.
I thought about googling suicide nudes and I realized that's a terrible
Don't do
idea.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please
That
don't
is
do
not
that.
not what we're talking about.
To just say here, I do think like Gadget, just a passive party, in her situation. Where this guy, he could form an army of his.
Sue Nudes? What'd you say?
He's the messiah.
I said
of
suicide nudes.
suicides.
Nudisudes.
Lawrence, what's your vote?
medicine.
I'm curious.
I feel like to me, dudes that threaten suicide so they can see titties is more the version of the internet that I'm used to. Not the one I would like to see.
That's what he wants.
Used
But-
to means likes.
Yeah, I know.
Enjoys.
Yeah, participates in on a daily basis. I think it's kind of a time-honored tradition of, and it shouldn't be honored because it's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
But a dude's trying to manipulate women into opening up sexually.
I wanna-
And to me, the absolute most pathetic is threatening suicide.
You know,
and playing it out.
I would love to
live
see the
over
first
chat.
guy who did that in history. Like, thy say.
well, Romeo
show
and
me thine
Juliet.
bush.
Romeo and Juliet literally begins with Romeo getting broken up with by
yeah.
what's her face and going, "I'm gonna kill myself because she doesn't
Rosalind or
want to
whatever.
bang."
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's literally how it opens.
And then he goes, "Ooh, who's that?"
"Yeah, yeah," and then he's like, "She's fucking hot,
She's bangable.
and she wants to bang."
Yeah.
Oh, I can't host Dude Soup this
Yeah.
week. Send me your nudes.
Feet of Elise. Come on, Elise, if you trusted me.
So what? So we had Gadget.
It's Gadget all the way
I
around
think
except for
it's-
Lawrence.
Yeah, but that's fine. I
But
don't think my
Lawrence
vote counts.
has like 5 bits, so his bits
Oh,
count
sure. He has
against
more
our
bits?
He has more bits.
Yeah, I win in the end because I have the bits.
Whatever you want.
I get the bits and then I get the power.
Lawrence is internet, so
Yeah, Lawrence is
if
internet.
the internet was like Galactus in the hit film Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, where he's just like kind of a cloud.
That's me.
That's Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw it. It's just
Totally
always-
relatable.
Man.
But yeah, in Hard
They
Net, and I
suck.
don't know. I don't think I should get a vote because I also choose the entrance.
That's true.
I have to
Yeah.
be the passive.
You have
third
to
party.
disclose.
That's true.
So Gadget's still the reigning champion.
Gadget
Every
wins.
time
Right.
somebody gets a tit pic over the internet, I see 5% of that titty. Yeah, it's a pretty
That's
good
an
ride.
amazing deal.
I don't get to
Good.
pick which 5%.
Oh,
though.
okay. All right. Well.
By Hordor and Mordor coming to stores in October.
Shadow of Mordor.
Oh boy. Well, that'll do it for this this episode of Dude Soup. Thanks for
Dang.
listening, everybody.
Too fast.
If you're watching live, we got the post show coming on up. If you're not watching live, maybe check out that post show. You need an RT First membership though. We're gonna look at a lot of cool fan art, and we didn't do one last week, so we got a healthy crop
Oh yeah.
to get through. And then after that, we got the RT podcast. So stay tuned for all of that. We're gonna take a quick break because we got to piss and prepare. So see you guys in just a bit.
If you don't become a first member, gonna curl my surf.
Durner.
That's so great.
All right, well, that's enough. That's enough for innocent, lighthearted entertainment. Because we gotta cover PewDiePie being a Nazi.
Oh boy.
Yep. Okay, so this has become a whole ordeal, and it was kind of breaking last week, but I wanted to give it time to shake out because I could kind of see the rumblings of something pretty big going down.
But it's still shaking out.
It's still shaking.